Hi, everyone. Welcome to the webinar and workshop series conducted by TCS in lieu of the upcoming MCS exams happening in May 2025. My name is Nick, and I'm one of the lead tutors and evaluators for MCS at TCS. So let's look at the session outcomes. First things first, I'm going to focus your attention towards Preseen application, thereby highlighting what you need to do when developing answers, when bringing in Preseen information, how to do it in an effective manner. And in the second part, I will be taking you through the externals of your chosen industry or chosen company rather, thereby conducting an industry analysis. And at the very end of this session, I will be taking you through the Preseen document, thereby covering a certain part of the internal dynamics of your chosen company. So before we get into the nitty-gritties, let me quickly remind you of the upcoming webinars and workshops which we have scheduled for you. The most important webinar out of the four webinars, which is answering technique, is happening next Saturday at 10 a.m. UK time or 9 GMT. It's essential that you attend it without fail, especially given the fact that I'd be sharing answering and time management techniques with you. Not just I won't just be teaching these things. I will also take you through one of the mock exams, and whilst taking you through the answer plan of the chosen mock exam, I will explain how to implement these answering and time management techniques in a practical sense. And after attending this webinar, you are expected to kickstart your mock attempts, thereby replicating the same methodology across the 6 mock exams with the intention of improving your skill set, which enables you to structure high quality answers and at the same time manage your time at your real examination. And in the fourth webinar exam prep, I will be sharing I will be taking you through the exam blueprint, thereby highlighting what the examiner tells us about the examination, and the examiner tells you to do certain things in order to be successful at your real exam. So I will be taking you through examiner's tips and comments, and at the same time, I will share stress management techniques with you at the fourth webinar. And then we are kickstarting our workshop series, and in each workshop, I will be taking you through each OTQ syllabus area, and at the same time, I will take you through a mock exam concerning each OTQ syllabus area. Also, within each of these workshops, I will be conducting a Q&A session. So as per our study plan, when we are kickstarting our workshop series, definitely you should be done with at least 2 mock exams. You will have questions. You can get all these questions answered at each of these weekly workshops. And the final workshop, which happens 2 or 3 days before your exam, I will be sharing last minute tips with you to make sure that you walk into the exam with a high level of positivity. So make sure to make use of these free resources. Get in touch with us on a weekly basis, which is the best way to keep tabs about your performance in each week. All right, so Preseen application, how are you supposed to do it properly? First things first, it's essential that you know your key information. For instance, you need to know the business model of your chosen company. As you know, this time's Preseen is based on a company which is known as Trimayr. So you need to know, you need to have an in-depth understanding of the externals and internals of Trimayr. So with the intention of helping you gain a good understanding of the key information, we have developed something called the annotated Preseen. Those who had already invested on the paid content have access to this annotated Preseen via the student dashboard. I'm pretty sure you would have gone through this document already. And I will, when conducting the Preseen analysis, you'd see what the annotated Preseen is all about, because I will be basing my evaluations taking what appears within the information which appears within the annotated Preseen. Also, we have developed another resource which is known as the Preseen mind map, which can be downloaded via the student dashboard once more. And also, after this session, I will share this Preseen mind map with you via the WhatsApp group. Once you have access to this Preseen mind map, your life becomes easy when it comes to understanding or remembering the most important points which appear within the Preseen document, because we've come up with a good summary or a mind map concerning the entire Preseen. So you need not come up with your own short notes and whatnot. We have actually done it for you. So, on a daily basis, go through this document. And based on this document, we have developed 6, TikTok videos as well. So go through these TikTok videos and this document on a daily basis to make sure that you constantly keep yourself reminded of what appears within your Preseen, because it's essential that you know what happens within your industry and what happens within your chosen company. Also, you need to know your numbers. Again, you need not worry. We have conducted a ratio analysis, and based on this, based on the financial statements of your chosen company and its closest competitor, we have developed a separate set of slides which carries a financial analysis. And based on this set of slides, we have also developed the fifth and final Preseen analysis video, which can be accessed via the paid content. And once you have watched this video and once you have gone through this set of slides, you will gain an in-depth understanding of what appears within each financial statement concerning your chosen company and its closest competitor. So you need not work out numbers at your real examination. However, you need to have a good understanding of what's there within the financial statements and what type of issues the company might face based on the hiccups the company is facing at the moment with regards to finances. Also, when conducting your preparations, you have to prepare for possible scenarios, yet you have to be open-minded. So with the intention of preparing for possible scenarios, I invite you to attempt our 6 mock exams and conduct your revision based on the same 6 mock exams. So when developing these 6 mocks, we have made sure to cover all syllabus areas. However, we are not in a position to predict the scenarios exactly, because it's up to the examiner to come up with any type of scenario. So our intention when it comes to developing the 6 mocks is to make sure that we cover all the syllabus areas, and we cover the scenarios as per the hints provided by the examiner via the Preseen document. However, any type of scenario can be thrown at you at your real exam. So as I mentioned earlier in the first webinar, the examiner is trying to replicate a real life corporate environment. So in a real life corporate environment, you are not in a position to predict what type of issues the company is trying to type of issues the company is trying to manage, or what type of opportunities the company is trying to exploit. So because of that, don't try to memorize anything when attempting mock exams or when conducting revision. Instead, your objective should be to understand the logic behind each answer, and also gain an understanding of how each syllabus area is tested at your exam. And remember that the scenario presented in the exam carries the latest information. So your Preseen document gives us an indication about what has happened within the company in the past, what has happened within the industry in the past. And if you look at the financial statements, it gives us a glimpse into what has happened in the past. However, at your real organization, novel or fresh information will be shared with you, thereby highlighting a certain issue the company is facing at the moment, or some type of opportunity the company is trying to exploit. So that's exactly why you have to be open-minded. So with this in mind, when going through mock exams and when conducting revision, don't try to memorize anything. Instead, try to understand the logic behind each answer. All right. And when developing answers, it's best practice for you to refer to Preseen information. However, when doing so, there's a way in which you are supposed to tackle this. So when marking your papers, what we have understood is most students have a tendency to bring in information from the Preseen, which carries general information. For instance, when marking papers, what we have understood is most students start each section with an introductory paragraph, which is totally unnecessary. And in this introductory paragraph, students mention the fact that Trimayr is operating 40 different salons, which are owned by them, and they have partnerships with 520 franchisees. So should you include such information? Absolutely not, because always remember, you are reporting to the senior finance manager or any other senior manager within your organization. So just think that you are actually working for this company. If you're working for this company, will you always constantly keep reminding your senior managers about what we are up to? You won't. Yeah, there's so because of that, there's absolutely no point of talking about where we are based at or how many salons we operate on our own and how many franchisees we deal with. This, unless and otherwise such information is aligned with the information presented at the exam. So if there's information about us pursuing additional franchise agreements, yes, then you need to mention about the number of franchisees whom we deal with at the moment. However, if the scenario is about us acquiring um, a hair care manufacturer or us pursuing vertical integration, there's absolutely no point of you mentioning about the number of franchise partners we deal with or number of salons which we own outright at the moment. So whenever you are bringing in pre-scene information, do it with the intention of adding value to your answer. You won't gain any marks simply because of bringing in generic information from the pre-scene. So avoid overloading your responses with unnecessary details, just to demonstrate that you have studied the pre-scene. Just because you bring in information from the pre-scene, the examiner is not going to give you marks unless and otherwise you are referring to pre-scene information with the intention of adding value to your answer. So you will gain a good understanding of how to do this in a practical sense by attending the third webinar, which is happening next Saturday. Also, you'd gain an understanding of how to do this properly by referring to the suggested answers of the 6 mock exams and the answer plans. Also, you can easily gain an understanding of how to work on pre-scene application. When you watch the MCS masterclasses, you'd gain access to 20 masterclasses in total, and these master classes are totally aligned with what appears within our mock exams. And when you watch these master classes, you'd understand how to work on pre-scene application. Okay. And how should you approach E2, F2, and P2? As I mentioned in the first webinar, theories will definitely be tested at this exam. And although even if you are conversant with all syllabus areas, if you don't know how to work on your application, if you don't know how to apply these theoretical knowledge when developing answers, you won't get any marks at this exam. So you have to be prepared for application of theories and concepts. And at the same time, you need to have an understanding of how to interpret figures and numbers. So all the figures and numbers or the facts and figures will be shared with you at the examination via each scenario. So that's exactly why I said that you need not work out or compute any numbers, ratios, and whatnot. You might have to, recompute a gearing ratio or something like an interest cover. Other than that, you won't have to do major calculations. Instead, all the numbers will be shared with you. Your job as the finance manager of this company is to evaluate these numbers and explain to your senior managers about what these numbers tell us about the company's performance. All right, so prepare for interpretation of figures and numbers. And when conducting preparations concerning your E2, F2, and P2 syllabi, do not skip any topic. I've dealt with students who think that they can disregard a certain element and end up passing the MCS exam. If you are doing that, if you're planning to do that, you are actually testing your luck. For instance, let's assume you did not study IAS 38. You find it to be hard. Because of that, you left it out. But at the exam, there's a question which is based on IAS 38. And if IAS 38 intangible assets is tested at the exam, the weightage will be somewhere around 50 to 60%. So since you have skipped on IAS 38, you'd end up losing a chunk of marks at your real exam. If so, you'd end up failing the examination. So it's essential that you go through all syllabus areas, that you are conversant with all syllabus areas. That's exactly why we have developed 6 mock exams. because it takes 6 mocks to cover all syllabus elements. So that's why it's essential for you to attempt the 6 mocks. Not just attempt the 6 mocks, you have to conduct revision based on the same 6 mock exams. You'd learn how to do this, how to conduct revision at the 3rd webinar, which is happening next Saturday. So wait until, don't start, mock attempts until you have attended the 3rd webinar. So, make up your mind to attempt all 6 mocks and conduct revision based on the same 6 mock exams. And do not rely on predictions, as any area can be examined at the examination. So I've, seen tutors out there mentioning the fact that certain syllabus areas will not be tested at the exam, which is not true, because as per the exam blueprint, as per examiner's comments, any syllabus area can be tested at your MCS exam. So you have to be conversant with all 3 pillars concerning your E2, F2, and P2 syllabi. All right. So having said that, before we move on to the industry and pre-scene analysis, let me quickly mention what we offer at TCS. So I'm on the MCS page. If you're yet to create a free user account, click on this button and create your own account. And once you have done so, you will gain access to the recorded versions of the weekly webinars and workshops which we conduct. And at the same time, you will gain access to the free mock exam, which is mock exam 1. Out of the 6 mocks, you would gain access to the first mock exam, its suggested answer, and the answer plan. Also, you will have the opportunity of attempting mock number 1 under exam conditions via our exam platform. And we have developed an exam platform which is the exact replica of the Pearson VUE system on which you attempt your real examination. So it's essential that you attempt your mocks under exam conditions so that you are exposed to stressful situations. It's good that you are exposed to stressful situations when conducting your preparations rather than at your real exam. So make use of these free resources on offer by creating a free user account. And if you're interested on investing on the paid content, click on this button and check our paid resources before you invest. And I invite you to join our MCS WhatsApp discussion forum by clicking on this button. Via this forum, we will keep you guys informed about the weekly webinars and workshops, the commencement dates and times. And at the same time, we will be sharing free resources via this group. Also, if you have any questions or concerns, myself and Jared are always there to help you out. And talking about what we offer, we are offering 2 packages, the Essentials course and the Premium course. The Essential course is intended for those who have completed their OTQ exam. So if you are done with your E2, F2, and P2 OTQs, you have already learned theory. You need to simply work on improving your application skills. So if you're such a student, simply go for the Essential course. So the Essential course comes with the recordings of the weekly webinars and workshops, 6 mock exams with suggested answers, which covers all syllabus areas, pre-scene analysis videos, 5 pre-scene analysis videos in total, which covers the entire pre-scene. You need not try and decrypt the pre-scene document. We have done it for you. You'd also gain access to industry and financial analysis slides. In a little while, you will see what industry analysis slides look like, because based on it, I'm going to conduct the industry analysis. And let me quickly show you, how our financial analysis slides are structured. These are slides which we developed for the previous case study. However, under the paid content, you'd gain access to the set of slides which are intended for this time's case study. So as you can see, we have evaluated each financial statement in depth, yet making sure to keep things simple so that you gain a good understanding of what appears within each financial statement. So we have evaluated the SOPL, the SOFP, and at the very end, we have conducted a ratio analysis concerning your chosen company and its closest competitor. So based on these set of slides, we have developed the final pre-scene analysis video, the 5th pre-scene analysis video as well. And once you have gone through this set of slides and watched the 5th video, then you'd gain a good understanding of the financial standing of your chosen company. You'd also gain access to top 10 likely issue slides, which indicate the most probable scenarios which can be tested at the exam. And you'd also gain access to a case study familiarization kit. Once you go through this kit, within 10 to 15 minutes, you are in a position to gain a good understanding about the technicalities behind your MCS exam. You will also gain access to tutor managed live chat and OTQ revision cards. So let's assume you purchase the essential course and you attempt one mock exam. After attempting the mock exam, you'd know the subtasks in which you struggled. So go back to the mock exam and you need to figure out the syllabus elements covered under each subtask. Focused on these syllabus elements, go through the revision cards. In a jiffy, you are in a position to brush up your knowledge concerning certain theoretical elements which you have forgotten. Okay, so the essential course is priced at £249. Talking about the premium course, this is designed for those who are coming through exemptions such as FLP and the Master's Gateway, and for those who had failed the MCS exam previously. So we have included some additional resources with the intention of teaching you theory and application, because if you're coming through an exemption route and if you had failed the exam previously, both these sets of students have the same problem. There are issues with theory knowledge and application skills. So with the intention of teaching you theory and application, we have included some additional resources. So on top of the essential course, you'd gain access to the online mock exam platform on which you can attempt all 6 mock exams under exam conditions, which is the best way to master your answering, time management, and stress management techniques. You'd understand the benefit of this after attending next week's webinar. And you'd also gain access to one-on-one tutor feedback on 2 mock exams, namely mocks 3 and 5. And let me quickly show you the type of feedback on offer at TCS. As you can see, we have evaluated each point or each paragraph in depth, thereby with the intention of highlighting what your shortcomings are, because it's essential that you understand your shortcomings. If so, you can take steps to overcome them when conducting your preparation. So you can see the type of feedback which we offer at TCS. And at the very end, we have provided mark allocations on a subtask by subtask basis. Not just that, we have also come up with a success rate, which indicates the subtasks in which your performance was substandard. So once you gain tutor feedback like this, focused on the subtasks which are highlighted in yellow, you are supposed to do something called redeveloping answer plans. This might sound Greek to you, but after you had attended next week's webinar, you'd understand what an answering technique or what redeveloping answer plans is all about. So this is the best type of revision you should conduct, given the fact that you simply have 7 weeks until your examination. All right, so that's the type of feedback on offer. And you'd also gain access to the answer plans of all 6 mock exams. So usually you'd gain access to the mock exams and suggested answers. However, we have gone a step further. We are sharing answer plans with you, which makes your life easy when it comes to understanding the logic behind each answer. So this is what a typical answer plan looks like. So this is, if you had gone through suggested answers, you know for a fact that you need to go through, 10 to 15, go through a 10 to 15 page document. It's not too easy to understand the logic behind each answer. It's not too easy to understand how to structure each answer, and how to bring in theoretical knowledge, how to bring in Preseen information when developing answers. You can achieve all these things easily when you go through these answer plans. And this is the best resource out there, which will assist you immensely with your revision. After attempting each mock exam, when conducting revision, go through this answer plan. Then you'd understand how to structure your answer, which points you should have included within your answer. And after going through this answer plan, you are supposed to redevelop these answer plans on your own, thereby further revising. And after you have redeveloped answer plans, compare your fresh answer plans to TCS's answer plans to further improve your understanding about your shortcomings and further improve your understanding about theoretical concepts and application. So these type of resources are on offer under the premium course, and you'd also gain access to 20 master classes, and we have developed these master classes concerning mocks 2 to 6. So in each mock exam, there are 4 sections 4 sections into 5 mocks come up to 20 sections in total. So focused on each section, we have developed a masterclass. And the objective of developing these masterclasses is to teach you the theoretical concept covered within each mock exam, and at the same time, teach you how to work on your application skills. So once you gain access to all this content, you will pass for sure, hence the pass guarantee. So if you invest on the premium course and end up failing, you will gain access to the premium course in your subsequent sitting free of charge. However, in order to claim the pass guarantee, you have to complete these 3 requirements. You have to complete all 6 mock exams to make sure that you cover all syllabus elements and that you are conversant with how each syllabus area is tested at your exam. If not, even if you, just because you invest on premium, you can't pass, you have to complete all 6 mocks. Also, when attempting each mock exam, do it on your own. Don't go through the answers. Don't watch the master classes. Don't go through the answer plans, because I want you to really understand what your shortcomings are. Because as I mentioned earlier, when conducting preparations, your objective is to understand your shortcomings. And once you have understood your shortcomings, you can work towards overcoming them. If so, you'd be successful at your real exam. And also, you need to meet the performance criteria of 40% or higher for the last 3 mock exams, especially given the fact that focused on mocks 3 and 5, we are sharing tutor feedback with you. So it's essential that you do a serious job. So in order to make sure that you do a serious job, we have come up with this performance criteria. So once you have completed these 3 requirements, you will pass for sure. That is why the premium course comes with a pass guarantee. So the premium course is priced at £749, which can be paid in 2 monthly installments of £374 each. Or if you opt to pay in full, you can save £100. If so, the price is just £649. So click on either of these buttons to invest on your preferred course. Having said that, let me quickly take you to the MCS study plan, which can be accessed via the website itself. So let's try to figure out what you are supposed to achieve within this week. So as per the study plan, we are in week number 2. You are supposed to allocate 8 weeks of study time within this week. And after attending this webinar, you are supposed to watch the pre-scene analysis videos. There are 5 videos in total, including the financial analysis video. So watch the pre-scene analysis videos on your own. After doing so, refer to the annotated pre-scene, thereby revising your knowledge. After that, refer to the industry and financial analysis slides, thereby further revising your knowledge concerning the pre-scene document. So as you can see, week number 2 is dedicated towards your pre-scene document. So get it done within this week itself, because from week 3 onwards, things become serious. You have to start attempting mock exams. So within week 3, you are supposed to attempt 2 mock exams. This is the only week in which you are supposed to focus your attention towards attempting 2 mocks, because beyond that point, it's simply a matter of, from week 4 onwards, it's simply a matter of focusing your attention towards 1 single mock exam. However, in week 3, you have to attempt 2. So it's essential that you start your preparations right now. Don't wait until the last moment. Stick to our study plan, finish off the pre-scene analysis or pre-scene related preparations within this week, so that from week 3 onwards, you can focus your attention towards each of the 6 mock exams which we have developed. If you do so, if you stick to the study plan, in week number 8, when all the other students are scrambling for time, when all the other students are trying to attempt mock exams, conduct revision and whatnot, when all other students are under extreme levels of stress, you will be relaxing, because you are simply supposed to refer to the answer plans concerning mocks 1 to 6 and reread the annotated pre-scene. So start your preparations right now. Don't wait until the last moment. I've explained this study plan in depth in the first webinar. If you missed out on it, please go watch the recorded version, which can be accessed via our student dashboard under the free and paid content. And at the same time, you can gain access to it via the YouTube handle. All right, so that's what we offer. Having said that, let's move on to the industry and pre-scene analysis session. Okay, so I'm going to take you through the industry analysis slides, not in its entirety. I'm simply going to direct your attention towards the bigger picture concerning your industry, then I want to move on to the Preseen analysis because of a time constraint. Okay, so let's try to understand how your market is defined. So this time, Preseen is based on the hairdressing and salon industry. And players within this industry offer a diverse array of services such as hair cutting and styling, hair coloring, chemical treatments. It could be some type of treatment to do with your hair, or it could be something to do with your skin. And at the same time, players within this industry, they sell hair care products, both focused on clients who are seeking cutting and styling or coloring related services, and at the same time they sell their own branded products mostly via the salons. And this is a highly fragmented market. There are a lot of players within this industry. And because of that, there's intense competition. Everybody is trying to be competitive. There's a lot of advertising, marketing, and whatnot. So everybody's trying to create some type of differentiation related to competitors. And this market is dominated by independent salons and a set of regional chains. So there's a lot of independent salons which are small in size, and at the same time there are large regional chains as well. And at the same time there are international brands, a few prominent international brands operating within your chosen market. And looking at how this market is segmented, this market is segmented into three main parts. The first segment can be considered as luxury or upmarket salons. So as the name suggests, these are high-end salons which offers a premium experience. And these salons house celebrity stylists who have a major following. And at the same time, they offer exclusive hair care products within these upmarket or luxury salons. And the second tier is mid-market salons. These mid-market salons offer quality service, however, at a competitive price. So they are not as expensive as upmarket salons. However, still the price is somewhere in the middle. They try to offer value for money as much as possible. What is value for money? This is a situation where a company strives to offer utmost levels of quality, and at the same time making it affordable to customers, especially focused on the middle income earners of any given economy. And since the prices are competitive, these mid-market salons attract a broader clientele. And at the lowest level of the tier, you get the value or budget salons, which are offering basic affordable services, and they offer limited personalization, and they offer limited product variety as well. So they depend on two or three major products, and they don't offer a lot of styles within these salons. You'd get a general level of service. Because of that, they are charging an extremely low price as well. That's why they are known as budget salons. And let's look at how this industry is going to change in the future by looking at the industry trends. So there's a high level of prominence provided towards sustainability and using ethical products. So especially salons which operate in the up and mid markets, they try to rely on products which are free of harsh chemicals, cruelty free, which are products which are not tested on animals, and products which are vegan friendly, because in the affluent markets and in the younger demographics, you see a lot of people turning vegan. So because of that, they are looking for vegan products when it comes to styling. And at the same time, sustainable packaging is a concern as well concerning this industry. And there's a lot of technological disruption or digital disruption which has impacted this industry. You can see online booking systems, consultation systems, mobile apps, which keeps users reminded of the schedules and whatnot, and which pushes customers to book frequently in order to claim discounts. There are digital loyalty programs as well. They are again thereby offering discounts to the users. And a lot of systems are used by salons nowadays, such as customer relationship management systems and business intelligence systems, or in other terms, CRMs and BIs, with the intention of improving retention and reducing costs. Because if you're utilizing a CRM, you can keep track of your various customers, their customer needs and whatnot. You can keep track of their customer satisfaction levels. And at the same time, when you use BI systems, you can manage the business in the most efficient manner. And there's a rise of personalization and premiumization, especially again concerning the up and mid-market salons, which are offering tailored hair care solutions. And at the same time, they are offering personalized shampoos, conditioners, and treatment regimens, which comes with a price, yes, but most youngsters, especially in the middle and upper income categories, are looking for this type of personalization. And men's grooming is picking up as well, because there's a shift in cultural attitude towards male self-care. If you consider males in the good olden days, they didn't look after themselves that much. Males were supposed to be rugged and whatnot. They were supposed to not think about their outlook, but things are different right now. There's a shift in the culture when it comes to male self-care. So this had created a boom for men's grooming. And you can see specialized barbershops which are only fulfilling the needs of men, as well as beard grooming and skincare treatments being offered by niche or smaller set of salons out there. And social media is picking up as well, and influencer marketing is positively impacting this industry. Most salons out there are leveraging social media, thereby showcasing their styles, educating customers. You would have seen, TikTok being used, Instagram being used, and YouTube Shorts and whatnot being used by most salons out there, which can be used to easily show to the customers about the type of services which they offer. And at the same time, influencer collaborations are taking place as well, thereby salons are paying social media influencers to drive their sales. So these are the industry trends which I wanted to highlight. So based on these industry trends, expect scenarios at your real examination. So I invite you to go through the remaining set of slides as well, because you'd gain an understanding of the type of challenges this industry faces, and at the same time, the type of opportunities the players within this industry try to exploit. And at the very end of this set of slides, we have included information concerning a real life salon chain, so that you'd gain a better understanding of how a real life company operates within your chosen industry. So having said that, let's move on to the pre-scene analysis. So again, due to time constraints, I'm not going to take you through the entire document. You can gain access to the 5 pre-scene analysis videos via the paid content. I'm simply going to direct your attention towards a part of, or direct your attention towards the internal dynamics of your chosen company partially. All right, so as you know, as I mentioned earlier, this time's pre-scene is based on a company which is known as Trimayr, and this is a franchise of hairdressing salons. So we have entered into franchise agreements with a plethora of partners out there, and at the same time, we own our set of salons as well. So to be precise, we own 40 salons, and at the same time, we have signed agreements with 520 franchisees. And we are operating our own hairdressing academy as well. And we are a listed entity, which is operating in the service sector. And we are located within Dazzland, which carries a currency, which is the D dollar. And Dazzland uses IASs and IFRSs when it comes to financial reporting. And let's try to understand what your role is. You are supposed to play the role of a finance manager. I explained what your responsibilities are in the first webinar. So if you missed out on it, go watch the recorded version. And you are reporting to your senior finance manager, and the senior finance manager reports to the board members. And although your job title goes as finance manager, it does not mean that you are supposed to be only conversant with finance related stuff. You have to provide your services to different types of senior managers who are located within different departments of a chosen company. So because of that, you have to be conversant with all syllabus areas covered under your E2, F2, and P2 syllabi. All right, so let's quickly scroll to the part in which Trimayr related information is presented. Okay, so Trimayr was founded by Magda Trimayr in 1974. So we've been in operation for the past 50 odd years, which is good for us, which is good for our brand and reputation. And the initial success of Trimayr was attributed to its founder. And we gained a listing in the stock market in the year 2003. And in the same year, the founder, Magda, sold all her shares and exited the business. And let's try to understand what we've been up to since achieving a listing in the stock market. In 2005, we shifted our focus from owning our own set of salons to a franchised model. So as I mentioned earlier, we own 40 different salons at the moment. And at the same time, we have signed franchise agreements with 520 different franchisees. So this franchise arm of business started in 2005. So when Magda was there, Magda was running her own set of salons, but since we have got the listing in 2003, from 2005 onwards, we started signing franchise agreements. And we own 40 salons on our own, and at the same time, we have signed agreements with 520 franchisees. And Trimayr salons are at the forefront of new trends. So this indicates the fact that we are open for innovation. Definitely, we have to be open for innovation because this fashion industry and the hair care industry is changing rapidly. We are operating in a rapidly changing environment. So because of that, in order to make sure that we are aligned with the needs of customers, we have to constantly keep innovating new things, and at the same time, we have to constantly keep changing ourselves. And this type of innovation and reputation, which stipulates the fact that we are at the forefront of new trends, will positively impact our reputation and our brand. And as a listed company, we have to be conversant about investor confidence, because investor confidence has a direct relationship towards the share price. So we have to make sure that we run our business in the most successful manner. We have to make sure that we have a good control of the franchisees, because if a franchisee does something wrong, it will impact our brand in a negative manner. If so, it will impact investor confidence in an adverse manner, and this will impact our share prices adversely as well. And at the same time, we have to be conversant about the way in which we manage different stakeholders. We are dealing with hordes of stakeholders out there. We have to satisfy our shareholders as a listed company, and at the same time, we have to satisfy hordes and hordes of customers. And we are dealing with 520 odd franchisees and their employees. We have our own set of employees within our 40 salons, and at the same time, we have our own head office staff as well. So, and we are dealing with third-party suppliers. So, all in all, we have to manage our stakeholders appropriately. So, as a finance manager, the examiner expects you to have a good understanding of how to manage different stakeholders. And as a listed company, we have to fall in line with corporate governance best practices. And at the same time, we have to involve ourselves with integrated reporting in this day and age via our financial statements. We should not only keep our stakeholders informed about the financial performance of our company. We have to think about non-financial performance as well. And segmental reporting can be tested at the exam, especially given the fact that information pertinent to the revenues generated by different segments appear within the financial statements. However, segmental reporting was taken out of your MCS syllabus, although that is the case. So it won't be heavily tested. All the technical nitty-gritties will not be tested at the exam. However, you need to have some type of an understanding of what segmental reporting is. Don't worry, we have covered it within the 5th Preseen analysis video, which can be accessed via the paid content. And as a listed company, IAS 33 earnings per share will definitely be tested, and also alternative funding options such as debt and equity will be tested. Since we are a listed company, we have access to equity financing. So you have to know the pros and cons of opting for debt versus equity, and at the same time, how it will impact the financial standing of the company, such as thinking in terms of the gearing, how debt or equity will impact our gearing ratio, and what it tells us about the future of the company. All right, so let's look at how we run our franchise salons. The franchise salons are owned by a certain individual, which is known as a principal. So, this is the owner of a business with whom we are, we have signed a franchise agreement. So we are the franchisor, and the principal or the owner of this business is known as the franchisee. And this principal is accountable for operations of the salon, because it's up to the principal to run the business in a successful manner. Although they are using our branding under the franchising agreement, they are supposed to run their business on a daily basis. So the principal is accountable for operations of the salon. Although that is the case, this principal need not be a qualified hairdresser. This principal could be someone who is well versed with running a business. So you need not have a qualified hairdresser as a principal. However, it's essential, according to what's included within this Preseen document. It's essential that each franchise salon is managed by a qualified hairdresser who acts as the manager. Okay, so a qualified hairdresser should be there to play the role of a manager. However, the principal, there's no hard and fast rule which says that the principal should be well versed with hairdressing or should be a qualified hairdresser. And Trimayr provides feedback to principals on their performance every month, with the intention of making sure that these principals are capable and aware of how to run the business, because at the end of the day, the success of this the success of the way in which Trimayr runs, or how much profits we generate, depends on the success of how these principals run their own business. And looking at salon premises, Trimayr advises salons to lease premises. Thereby, we are recommended to go for lease agreements, which is cheaper rather than purchasing a place or a location outright. But you might find certain franchisees, there's no information about it, but there could be certain franchisees who own their own location. And interiors must align with Trimayr style guide, because when going for a franchising agreement, it's essential that we try and achieve standardization as much as possible, so that we provide a standardized service. If so, customers will not be dissatisfied. And we are using electronic point of sale systems to capture a plethora of data. First things first, our main intention of using this POS system is to keep tabs about revenue generated from styling, treatments, and sale of hair care products are kept track of using this point of sale system. And at the same time, we look at certain other performance metrics as well, thereby looking at total customer visits, waiting time for each customer, duration of service after being seated, and whatnot. So all in all, the POS system plays a major role in the way in which we keep tabs about the performance of franchisees. And we, using this POS system, we generate daily reports which are shared with the principal, and a copy of the same report is shared with our head office on a daily basis, so that on a daily basis we keep tabs about the performance of each of our franchisees. And looking at the KPIs used to measure performance of each franchise partner, we rely on a set of financial and non-financial KPIs. So the average spend per customer visit is a financial KPI. And at the same time, revenue per square meter is again a financial KPI. And the other KPIs are non-financial. Number of new customers gives us an indication about customer satisfaction. If customers are satisfied, if the existing customers are satisfied, they'd tell good things about our brand, which will help us attract new customers. And existing customer retention rate gives us an indication about customer satisfaction once more. Average waiting time per customer visit again gives us an indication about customer satisfaction, and at the same time, the efficiency in which we provide our services. Average service time per customer visit gives us an indication into customer service and at the customer satisfaction rather, and at the same time, the way in which we are efficient in the way or whether we are efficient or not. And staff turnover, which is an extremely important KPI considering the dynamics of your chosen company, gives us an indication of how well we manage our employees, because if there is high staff turnover within a certain franchise salon, it will impact our bottom lines in a negative manner, because if you don't find the number of employees who are skilled and capable to carry out the job appropriately, then this leads to disgruntled customers, and they in turn will tell bad things about our brand, because our brand, although the franchisee screws up something, our brand is on the line. So because of that, it's essential that we keep tabs about staff turnover and make sure that each franchise salon is staffed appropriately with skilled individuals. So these are the different types of KPIs which are in use at the moment. And we also rely on a business intelligence system. So as I was saying earlier, nowadays there's an increase in trend to rely on expensive systems with the intention of such as CRMs and BIs, with the intention of reducing costs and at the same time gathering information about various different customers. And our BI, which is used within Trimayr, generates additional reports for managers at the head office. And at the same time, our BI relies on structured and unstructured data. However, there's a small hiccup. It's good to gather structured and unstructured data. Although that is the case, we are gathering information without actually evaluating all the information at hand. So this gives us an indication about, or this raises the question as to whether we are overspending on the BI. So when it comes to using a BI system, it's quite normal to go for a subscription model rather than developing our own BI system, especially given the fact that we are in the salon industry, we have nothing to do with IT. So in such an environment, it's quite normal for a company to rely on a subscription model when utilizing a certain system such as a BI system. So if we are gathering data without actually evaluating them, then it indicates the fact that we might be paying higher subscriptions unnecessarily. So definitely there will be scenarios at your exam which are tied to this point, because the examiner is actually sharing a hint with you about a type of issue which can be tested at your examination. So I'm going to talk about it later about how such an element can be tested at the exam. And let's direct our attention towards franchise agreements. So when it comes to franchise agreements, the term is 5 years. Every 5 years, we have to renew the franchise agreements at the discretion of Trimayr, as well as the principal. So we can call off if we are dissatisfied in the way in which a certain franchisee operates, we can discontinue the contract, and at the same time, the principal has the right to discontinue the contract after 5 years as well. And majority of franchises are renewed. However, if a certain franchisee is not achieving the KPIs, then we have the right to call off the franchise agreement. So tied to all this information, the possible exam scenarios which can be tested at the exam could be tied to non-compliant salon interiors, what to do with such a situation, the type of disputes which we'd have to face when a franchisee is not complying. If so, how to manage these type of issues. All these things will be tested at the exam. And tied to the POS system, there could be a scenario which highlights a data discrepancy. It could be something to do with a technical issue, or some franchisee trying to interfere with the system, because as I mentioned earlier, the POS system is used to keep tabs about the performance of each franchisee. So because of that, a certain franchisee might try to interfere with this POS data with the intention of generating better KPIs for themselves. So there could be a situation or scenario tied to this, or there could be a situation where we try to upgrade the existing POS or the BI system. When doing so, we'd have to invest money, and when investing money, you'd have to carry out investment appraisals and whatnot. When investing money, funding options will be tested. You should know whether we should go for debt or equity by reading through the information presented at your examination. And there could be a situation or a scenario which highlights data privacy related issues, especially given the fact that we are gathering information or data about our customers. And if there is a data breach, it exposes us to data privacy issues. And also, there could be a situation where you are supposed to suggest or recommend new KPIs to salons to, keep tabs about performance in a better manner than what we do at the moment. And there could be a scenario which highlights performance evaluation disputes. As I mentioned earlier, we are measuring performance of each franchisee using a set of KPIs. However, due to a certain external event which is not under the control of a certain franchisee, the KPIs, the franchisee might not achieve the KPIs. So a scenario where let's assume there's a franchisee which is doing a good job, but all of a sudden a competitor puts up a salon adjacent to the franchisee's location. If so, the sales will be impacted negatively, because whenever a competitor comes and puts up shop, definitely they try to do something better than us. They try to be innovative than us, and this will impact sales in an adverse manner. So this is if something like this happens, sales performance is out of the control of the franchisee. So these type of elements, external factors impacting KPIs, and this in turn leading to a demotivation. These type of scenarios will be tested at the exam, might be tested at the exam. And again, another type of dispute tied to non-renewal of contracts might be tested at the exam. And there could be another scenario where we are not taking action, but the franchisee wants to call off the contract. These things happen because if the franchisee is located in a popular location, and at the same time, if the franchisee has gotten in touch with a lot of customers, built a lot of customers, then this individual after 5 years can say, okay, look here, I don't want the franchise agreement anymore. I'm running my own salon. So this will impact our bottom line in a negative manner. So this type of a scenario can be tested at the exam. And also, there could be a situation where the franchisee terminates the contract before the term expires, although this will expose the franchisee towards legal disputes. These things happen when you look at the practical business environment. So tied to these things, litigation or court cases relating to disputes will be tested at the exam. So considering all these points, the syllabus elements which can be tested are performance measurement. So you will be expected to understand the existing KPIs which are used by the company, and at the same time, you should have the capability to suggest better KPIs concerning the information presented at each scenario. And you have to be conversant with internal benchmarking. Actually speaking, since we are relying on a KPI system to keep tabs about performance of each of the franchisees, we are actually effectively carrying out internal benchmarking. So you need to understand the advantages and disadvantages of internal benchmarking, and whether we have any alternatives at our disposal which is better than internal benchmarking. And you have to be conversant of business risks and mitigation. So as a finance manager, you should have the capability of identifying certain risks, considering the information presented by the examiner, and at the same time come up with foolproof mitigatory strategies. And investment appraisal, something tied to us. For instance, upgrading our BI system or the POS system. When doing so, we'd have to go for additional investments. Before committing investments, we have to conduct investment appraisal. So this type of knowledge can be tested. Your knowledge pertaining to project management, again, when we are upgrading a certain system, it's best practice that we stick to project management initiatives or utilize various different project management tools out there. So this can be tested. And also when dealing with issues with franchisees, your knowledge pertaining to how to conduct negotiations with the intention of resolving these issues, and your conflict resolution strategies will be tested at the exam. And if a scenario highlights a legal dispute, your knowledge pertaining to IAS 37, provisions, contingent liabilities, and contingent assets can be tested. And if we are trying to upgrade our BI or POS, it's an intangible asset. So your knowledge pertaining to IAS 38 intangible assets will be tested. And since there's a mention about lease agreements, and when running our 40 salons, we might have signed lease agreements. That's why we have right of use assets within our financial statements. So if such a scenario is tested, your knowledge pertaining to IFRS 16 leases will be tested at the exam. All right. So I think we are running out of time. Yet I'll try to cover this part. I'm not going to go in depth because we've already done so via the 5 Preseen analysis videos. I just want to direct your attention towards what happens within our head office. So within our head office, there are 6 different departments. In one of the departments, we recruit franchise partners. So the objective the objective of us setting up this department is to make sure that we get hold of or attract much as much franchisees as possible, because our revenues depend on the number of franchisees we deal with. So higher the number of franchisees we attract, higher the revenue possibility. So that's the main objective of this department. And looking at franchise management, after we have attracted a potential franchisee and after we have signed the contracts, we have to make sure that these franchisees run the shop or run the business in the most efficient manner. With that in mind, we have a separate department which looks into the needs of these franchisees on an ongoing manner. And on top of that, this franchise management department handles royalty payments as well, and review and recommend about renewals. And they keep tabs about performance. They conduct regular inspections of salons, review KPIs monthly, and rank salons under the 2 segments, upmarket and mid-market. And at the same time, inform the franchisees about the ranking and implications of their ranking. If the ranking is bad, they work with the principal and try to develop a plan and help them overcome issues. Still, after providing these type of services or this type of support, still the performance, if it's bad, then this franchise management department will recommend the board to dissolve a certain franchise contract. And we have a separate hair technology department, which consists of a team of experienced and expert hairdressers. These individuals are involved with innovation. They are supposed to invent new hairstyles, and with the intention of being innovative, they are supposed to work with clothing designers, stylists, to make sure that our styles are aligned with the current styles out there. And these individuals appear on TV and social media to discuss latest trends, and they write newspaper and magazine articles. And at the same time, since they have to innovate, they have to keep tabs about how hair care products are changing. So they are supposed to evaluate products which can be used within the salons, and at the same time, the type of products which we can sell to our clients via our salon network. All right. So, and our marketing department carries out B2C marketing. This is customer-faced marketing. Thereby, we conduct promotions to promote our brand, and our marketing department conducts advertising initiatives as well. and they are also responsible towards maintaining our website. The admin department carries out a lot of, they are responsible for a lot of things. They are responsible for human resources management, managing the information systems and legal disputes. So what I feel is the admin department is overburdened. It's best that these three separate elements are subdivided so that you have skilled and capable individuals who are focused on each of these elements, rather than asking a limited number of people to handle these three major areas. Because as I mentioned earlier, there's a possibility, given that we are dealing with 520 franchises, there's a possibility of legal disputes. It's best that a separate department handles it. We are relying on BI and a POS system, so it's essential that we ask skilled and capable individuals to manage these affairs, thereby setting up a separate IT or IS department. And it's essential that we manage our human resources, as I mentioned earlier. That's why it's mentioned, staff turnover is mentioned as one of our KPIs. So it's best that we have three separate departments, rather than asking the admin department to handle all these three elements. And looking at the finance department, accounting related work and finance management is carried out. So tied to all this information, the possible exam scenarios which could be tested with regards to evaluation and selection of new franchisees. So information will be presented at your exam. Based on the information, you are supposed to conduct evaluations and recommend whether we should select a certain franchisee or not. And you might have to take a franchise renewal decision again. Information pertaining to the performance of a certain franchisee will be shared with you, and you, based on the information presented, you are supposed to conduct a performance evaluation and therefore recommend whether we should renew the contract or not. And pricing decisions, you'd have to be involved with pricing decisions, especially tied to new products which we introduce to the market. And your knowledge pertaining to managing quality issues will be tested, especially tied to costs of quality. And there could be a situation where we are exposed to a social media backlash due to one of our hair employees who are working within the hair technology department saying something wrong in social media or on TV. And also there could be a situation where we are trying to pursue vertical integration, thereby trying to acquire a hair care product manufacturer. So at the moment, what we do is we rely on third-party hair care manufacturers. And although we sell our own branded products, we get the products manufactured from a third party and do our own branding and sell it across our salon chain. However, we can significantly improve the quality of the hair care products, the manufacturing process, and at the same time drive out non-value adding activities and unnecessary costs by pursuing vertical integration, thereby acquiring a hair care manufacturer. So definitely these type of scenarios can be tested at the exam. And tied to these scenarios, the probable syllabus areas which can be tested are tied to conducting performance measurements. So you need to, as I mentioned earlier, be conversant about the current KPIs used by the company and have the capability to come up with better KPIs considering the information presented to you. And at the same time, you have to be conversant with a tool such as balanced scorecard. And since we are introducing new products to the market, we have to cost them properly. So you have to be conversant with target costing. And at the same time, certain products, given the industry dynamics, they might go out of fashion. Because of that, we have to, before introducing a new product, we have to consider the life cycle of a certain product. So therefore, you need to be conversant with life cycle costing and various different pricing strategies. You have to be conversant with TQM, how to implement total quality management, how to achieve total quality management, how to implement TQM tools within your chosen organization, and how it will impact costs of quality. And when faced with a certain issue, how to provide appropriate leadership with the intention of resolving an issue, and how to conduct communication with the impacted stakeholders. And if we are exposed to a legal dispute, as I mentioned earlier, IAS 37 provisions, contingent liabilities, and contingent assets will be tested. And if an acquisition scenario or us pursuing a vertical integration is tested, this definitely can be tested at the exam. If such a scenario is thrown at you, your knowledge pertaining to business models and business ecosystems will be tested. You should have the capability of understanding how an acquisition or a vertical integration is going to change our existing business ecosystem and our existing business model. And when pursuing this type of an acquisition, we'd be exposed to an additional set of risks. So you need to have the capability to identify these risks and come up with mitigatory action. And you should know how this type of an acquisition will change our value chain. Definitely our value chain will improve. However, you need to know how our value chain will be impacted due to us going for a vertical integration. And when pursuing a vertical integration or acquisition, definitely we have to appraise the investment. So your knowledge pertaining to investment appraisal will be tested. And you should know whether we should, how we should consider the acquired party, what type of responsibility center it should be, whether it should be a cost center, revenue center, a profit center, or an investment center. So your nitty-gritties pertaining to responsibility centers will be tested at the exam, and performance measures to keep track about the performance of the acquired party. And when dealing with this party, let's assume we consider it to be a subsidiary. And when dealing with this subsidiary, your knowledge pertaining to transfer pricing will be tested. When acquiring a company, we should have access to additional investments. And tied to this, sources of financing tied to debt and equity funding will be tested. How debt or equity will impact the financial situation of your company will be tested at the exam. And how dealing with a subsidiary impacts our group accounts will be tested at the exam. And your knowledge pertaining to weighted average cost of capital, especially given the fact that we are a listed company. Since we have access to equity funding, the WACC will be tested at the exam. So that's what I wanted to highlight. So I hope you gain some type of an understanding of the internal nitty-gritties concerning your company. However, you are expected to watch the remaining set of videos as well, because I don't have time to talk about the remaining components which are highlighted within your Preseen document concerning the way in which we run our academy, our business model, our how our board is structured. All these things I don't have time to talk about. We've already covered them in the 5 Preseen analysis sessions, so I invite you to go watch them, which can be accessed via the paid content via the TCS dashboard. Okay. So having said that, I'm happy to say that we achieved a 90% pass rate in the November 2024 sitting. The results for the February 2025 sitting will be out next Thursday. So I hope that our students have done a good job, just like what they did in November 2024. So having said that, I'm starting the Q&A session. So if you have any questions, you can switch on your mic and talk, or drop us a message via the chat. So I'm going to pause the recording. Folks, I hope I addressed everything. And thank you very much for raising these questions. And if you want to contact us, you can do it via our website, which is www.study@tcs.com. Visit our website and click on the contact button and drop a message. Our admin staff will get in touch with you via email during office hours. And you can also email us at info@study@tcs.com or WhatsApp us on this number. And I urge you to follow us on our social media platforms, especially YouTube and TikTok, because as I mentioned earlier, I actually shared the first TikTok video with you via the WhatsApp group. We have developed 6 TikTok videos. So keep watching these 6 TikTok videos on your way to office, for instance, so that on a daily basis, you constantly keep yourselves reminded of what appears within your Preseen. So you need not do anything else to remember what appears within the Preseen. We have covered it for you. And also the recorded versions of these weekly webinars and workshops are uploaded onto our YouTube handle. And I invite you to check out our blog posts as well, especially concerning the blog post which we have developed focused on Trimayr, your chosen company. I hope you have already read this, because I shared this with you via the WhatsApp group. If you're yet to check it out, click on the blog area and click on this, and please read the blog post. Okay, so having said that, it brings us to the end of the Preseen analysis session. I hope you gained something out of this session and understood what this industry is all about, and understood the internal dynamics of your chosen company, Trimayr. And I invite you to watch the remaining set of videos which come under the paid content, and start your preparations right now. Finish off the Preseen related preparations within this week, so that from next week onwards, you can pull your socks up and start attempting mock exams. So don't wait until the last moment. Stick to the study plan. If you do so, you'd conduct your preparations in a stress-free environment, and it's essential that you operate in a stress-free environment in order to be, if you want to be successful at your real examination. So I wish you all the very best, and hope to see you next week, next Saturday at 10 a.m. UK or 9 GMT, in which I'm going to teach you answering and time management technique. So thank you for joining. Take care and good night.